We are celebrating National Soup Month here at Mass Appeal, and we have John Slattery from ChefJohnSlattery.com to make a nice little ham and bean soup. Hi, John.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm happy. I like soup.
Oh, good. Good. We're in the right place. You know, this is a great hearty soup. It's got lots of good nutrition in it. One of the things, we're going to make a stock from a ham bone. And that's one of the most important parts of making a good soup, is making a good stock.
Now, so that comes from a good bone?
Comes from a good bone. It's got to have some meat. So if I were doing a party at my house or doing one of the parties that I do for people, and they wanted to have a nice meal, one of my signature go-to dishes is like a Limerick ham, and we carve that for their guests. And then we're left with a bone.
This cleaver. Look at that.
What's the meat on it like this? So this bone is actually for my friend down the street, Gus, at Al's Diner, and they serve fresh ham, and then they have the butts. So you take a bone like this, a little bit of meat left on it, I've served all your party, and put it maybe in a pot big enough or a slow cooker, and bring it to a boil, and then let it simmer on low. It takes maybe 8 hours for all of the sinuous tissue and the gelatin that's in the ham bone to dissolve and get into the stock. That's what makes the stock really healthy and really tasty and gives it the richness. So cooking down the bones until they come out dry on the ends like this, and all the cartilage has dissolved. All that dissolved cartilage, as long as you didn't bring it back to a boil, has been now stored in your stock.
Store the bone in your stock.
All the nutrition.
Exactly. So now you're left with, this is how you know.
Now you strain the stock, and you have, if you notice, a little bit of fat on the top. It separates when it gets a chance to sit or cool. If you have time, you can make it cold, and you can just pick the whole chunk of fat off. If not, ladle off the top.
It'll congeal in the fridge, you're saying?
It will congeal, and you can just peel it off.
Okay.
Now, the reason that I'd like to do this is, instead of using any additional butters or oil in the dish, you can then skim just the fat off of the liquid and use that to saute your vegetables. So this pan's a little hot, but we're going to put our oil in.
Oh, there you go. You like a little steam. Let you know you're cooking.
And then to the oil in our pan, we're going to add our mirepoix vegetables, the carrots, the celery, and the onion, and let them start to cook. The other important thing about making a ham and bean soup is the beans, when you start out with dried beans, have to be very carefully sorted when they come out of the bag, and they tell you right on, because bean pickers sometimes miss a rock. So you have to check them real good.
Wait, that's a thing?
That's a thing.
I can accidentally eat a rock?
Labeled right on any bag of dried beans, beware of foreign objects.
Such as a rock.
Such as a rock or a dirt clump or something like that that made it through the pea sorter. Anyway, you take once you've sorted and made sure there's no rocks, submerge them in water overnight while the bone is cooking, and by the next day they should have swelled and broken their skins. We're going to add those to the sauteed mirepoix and cook those in the pot.
Saute a little bit of all the vegetables, let them get to know each other.
Now, because this is TV and soup takes more than the time we have, I have those ingredients cooked up here.
How long should that take?
About 10 minutes, until the onions are golden brown.
Okay.
And you're going to just keep cooking it, stirring it, stirring it. Now we've done that. Into that we're going to add our meat that we picked off the bones.
So this is the ham from the bone that we cooked from? Okay.
And I picked through it to make sure there's no chunks of bone or anything like that.
Or rocks?
Or rocks.
No rocks in the ham.
There should be no rocks in the ham.
All right, that's when you know you've really met a problem.
A little bit of pepper, our fresh herbs, and the stock. We're going to bring this to a boil and let it simmer for about 45 minutes, and that's the end of a nice ham and bean soup. You can simmer it longer, the beans will break down and they'll get thicker. Some people puree the beans and make it into like pea soup where it's thick, but we made it today just as like a chicken soup, but with ham and beans and all the nutrition from the ham bone.
That's good. Now, do you garnish with anything? Do you like to eat a little bread with it? How do you like to serve it?
It's great served with a crostini, but it's really got all the nutrition you need packed right into the dish right along with it.
No, I think I am a novice when it comes to the crostini. What is a crostini?
A crostini, a piece of a dried bread that's been flavored with oil and herbs, something that you can kind of dip in. Or croutons, just some nice seasoned croutons would go well in that dish too.
So croutons, bread, a.k.a. the crostini. I like that. I wish I knew what that was.
It's like a big crouton.
Oh, I like a big crouton. That'll be fun. There you go, guys. You can try this out at home. There'll be ham and bean soup. Now, coming up, we're doing one more National Soup Month recipe with you. What are we going to be making?
We're going to make a nice cabbage and spicy sausage soup.
Ooh, how spicy are we talking here?
Not too spicy, but enough to warm you on a cold day.
Will it clear the congestion if you got like a sinus infection?
For yours, we can add extra.
No, it's fine. No, whatever it takes for the recipe. All right, well, we'll show you that, guys, that in a little bit. We'll have this recipe for you on mymassappeal.com.